Okay.
You know how many counts?
No. Hi, I'm Swanström, a UX and product designer. I am on a road trip in Sweden and I am in the city of Sundsvall. And Sundsvall, as a matter of fact, is where my friend Fredric Johansson lives. He is not only my friend, but he is the musician and composer who has not only written but performs my intro song and actually every single song that you have ever heard on my YouTube channel. So I cannot wait for you to meet him. Here he is, Fredric Johansson. Fredric!
Mm-hmm. Hello,
Hey,
hello.
how are you?
I'm good. Welcome to my home.
Why, thank you. Thank
You're
you.
you're here.
It feels great to hang out with you in person.
Yeah. We're only chatting.
I know, we're just like... So how did you get into music?
I'm brought up in a really, music-focused family. So my dad, he used to play a lot of piano and instrument in church, and I used to tag along, and I, flirted my way into drumming and, guitar. And I remember when I started off playing drums when I was like 11, 12 or something, he would let me be a part of the practice part before, the service on Sundays. And he would, when I lost the beat, he would stomp his foot really hard so I could feel it in the floor, and like the cymbals were shaking a bit. So I was like, oh, there it is. Okay, there we go. So he's a nice guy. I mean, apart from that, he's a nice guy. I come from a lot of music, a lot of events in church, and you get a lot of opportunity to play in those types of events, and then my mom and dad, they listen to a lot of music, a lot of different kinds of music too, like Genesis and Stevie Wonder, and I just bought Supertramp's Breakfast in America, and I just noticed that this is a record I listened to my entire life.
Really?
Yeah, because I knew that my dad especially, he loves Supertramp, but I haven't listened to it in 15 years, and I bought that. It's like, this is my childhood, like just the other night. So it's I come from a great range of bands and types of music.
And have you always written your own songs and melodies? Or?
Yeah, I think since I was like 10 or 12 or something, when I started playing drums and getting involved in bands and stuff, and I really wanted to play guitar, and I started doing that when I was like 14. Really got into small synthesizers and analog stuff. So I would say from like age of 13, maybe 14, something like that. Yeah.
Cool. Where do they come from? What does it feel like?
What's the?
Because to me, music is such a mystery. It's like, it's just there in your head. Where did it come?
This is actually a real conversation we had.
Yes.
But because I said I have one or two ideas for the jingle, the intro for the YouTube channel that I think I have 2 or 3 more. I can just send to you in a day or something. You're like, but you've done them. I'm like, no, not really. You're like, so they're in your head.
How do they? Where do they? How do they stick?
Yeah. Because I think at least for me that's really different depending on who you ask, obviously. But for me at least, it's like when you ask me can you do a intro for a YouTube channel, my head just goes to that place in a way, like, okay, when I check out YouTube channels, what do I want to hear? And I also thought a lot about what you're wearing, in when I meet you at parties or whatever, you have so much color, and your style is so all over the place in the best kind of way. So let's do kind of a messy, positive, upbeat kind of thing. And it became kind of a teddy bears-ish thing, which for me is very upbeat and positive in a way.
What? So when I messaged you, I was like, oh, I'm on YouTube.
Yes.
And you, music,
Oh,
yay!
yeah.
What happened? What was your first step in writing the intro song? Like something was scrambling around.
Yeah.
You
I
heard
kept on
something.
shaking. Yeah.
And then what did you do?
I think for me it is I'm very inspired and triggered in a positive way when somebody says like, can you do something like this for this type of thing?
Ah, right. So it's like creative constraints.
Yeah, for me at least, it's.
But that helps. That helps with creativity.
Oh yeah,
for
for
me
sure.
Too.
Yeah. It's like when somebody pitches an idea for you.
Yeah.
Like bank.
Yeah.
Like
it's
you get 10,000 ideas.
And then it's like I'm in that space of,
Yeah.
of what do I do in finance?
Yeah.
And what is
Exactly. Yeah. What do you wear? How does that look? You know. So I think for me it's a lot about that, and I think it was a good thing for me to have met you in person. That I know you, and I know like kind of what you like visually at least, and I asked for like fonts and stuff, like how is it gonna look, you know. But I think I ended up with like 2 or 3 ideas, and you just went for the first one.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Like, this is the one, and you're like, yeah. But I have a couple of more. Can you please just check with the 2 or 3 others?
Do you remember what it sounded like? Because you wrote it on guitar.
Yeah. I just spoke to my girlfriend about that because this is the guitar.
That's the guitar.
1908 Levine. This is my granddad's guitar.
It's that old?
Yeah. And I remember like sitting in that corner in my fancy apartment over here and writing it on that guitar. And I was I was saying to my girlfriend like, what do you think about this? Like. She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I, made it a bit upbeat, I guess. Yeah. Very, intense way of telling how it happened, but sure.
But does that often happen to you that you're like, you go for your first idea, or do you make a lot of iterations along the way for your songs?
I think like when I often like in music I do a lot of like cinematic stuff. I love like big long like 9-minute stuff. I have a lot of different types of bands like punk bands and crowd rock and whatever. And often I start off with just a vague idea, and for this project, it was supposed to happen in 15 seconds. Yeah. So that's a bit shorter than I usually do. So which means I got the melody idea right, but I think the first version was like 30 or 40 seconds. I'm like, but this is then you change the channel, right? You look at something else when it's 40 seconds intro.
Yeah, you don't even watch a 40-second intro on Netflix. It's like skip it.
Yeah, I mean.
And they're so well produced there, so it's like, how are we gonna compete with that?
Have they copyrighted that thing, that invention, skip intro? Do you know that?
I have no idea.
Because HBO doesn't do it.
They don't?
No, they. I mean,
that's
it doesn't
why
exist.
I don't watch HBO, I suppose.
Oh my God, HBO. Please. What was the question?
So the question was, so you wrote a 30-40 second, and then you intro, and then shortened it down.
Yeah, I mean, it's really Kill Your Darlings.
Yeah.
Obviously, with that one, because I think I had like a key change and everything, and like in the 30-second time, it's like, oh, that's kind of natural, but then I'm like, 15. let's do the whole thing in 15.
But that's like with every design. Like you've designed lots of stuff, and then it's like, can we just...
And all the ideas you love, you have to kill, right?
Get rid of them.
Yeah.
But that's what not everyone realizes about a creative process. Even if it's design or music, it's like, it's about idea selection.
For sure, yeah.
You need to have something to start with, and then you build from that, and then you go back to that.
Yeah. But I think also like when I make music, and especially like these types of things, like for commercials or YouTube channels or whatever, like it gives you so many limits you have to like fit into, kind of. I mean, and obviously I like the intro. I mean, I'm really pleased about it. I'm happy about it. But it's really fun to see, like in hindsight, like where did I start with doing that? I mean, it was a 40-second piece, and like, why would anybody watch a 40-second long intro? But that was the feeling like this is kind of good.
Yeah.
This is enough. Like enough. You kidding me? Like that's a whole video, 40 seconds. But that's the most interesting part about creativity. Like when you ask me, like, but the songs are in your head now. Like you gotta do something with it. I like immediately texted my dad because we talk about this all the time. He's a writer. He's released a bunch of books and he's like now he's doing a haiku theme. Like so every day he's writing some kind of haiku poem, just to try to make it as like efficient and short as possible, but with as much content as he could.
But he's practicing like every day.
Yeah, he's doing it every day, like posting it on his like social medias and stuff, and he's really good. And I did text him like, this buddy of mine, she just the creativity it's so weird, like it's stuck in your head. It's like I know it's so weird. Like we talk about that so much. Like when I met him the other day, and I was like, I think I'm gonna let the haiku thing go. I'm like, why? You're really good at it. It's like, I don't know, I'm kind of I'm not feeling it. And like the next day he did another one. Because he just can't help it. Like you have to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have a really cool new side project now as well. Your new music project. Tell me.
Okay, I've done one video.
Well, that's how every great thing starts. You do that one thing. So what's that one thing?
that one thing. Okay, I'm gonna do a drum cover project since I'm a drummer and I'm doing a drum cover project. It's called Shaky Tapes, and I'm really I'm way too much into cassette decks and tape recorders now.
So cassette decks.
I look like a hipster. I know it. I got the national shirt and everything. Whatever. I got the beard. I get it. But like the idea was I have to practice more. Like I have to have a reason to go practice. Like if you like I can imagine it's the same thing for you. Like you have to draw or something. Like you have to do something.
But you need to keep your craft alive.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I started this thing called Shaky Tapes. So I'm gonna do drum covers. Then I'm gonna run it through like a cassette deck and a tape recorder and shake it up a bit.
Like, are we talking like?
Like
on a Walkman.
That could happen too. That's actually a good idea. Yeah. Like so the main thing is like I record most of it digitally, maybe sometimes with an analog player and whatever. It's a bit more messy and a bit sometimes it doesn't work too without analog stuff. So, but if you record something, you can run it through a tape recorder to make it more dusty and messy in a way, and then maybe even go through another tape recorder and another one, and then in the end you get a really chunky, grainy drum take.
Ooh.
So the idea is to record covers on songs I like I'm really into like hip hop now, like Run the Jewels new album. My God. So I'm gonna do a bunch of covers of like that and Friends I like, and then you're supposed to be able to download the drum file from what I recorded to use if you make beats or whatever. And it's gonna be so messy with tape, dust and stuff. I was about to say but you can't say that.
Are you sure?
Can you say? I don't know.
I think I can.
My mom's gonna hate me.
Sounds super cool though. And
it's really fun, yeah.
Right now, I really want to go see your studio. Could we?
I mean, if we do it on 3.
1,
2,
2,
3.
Where are we?
In my studio!
We're in Fredric's studio, and it's like the studioest studio I've ever seen.
You got the panther, you got the tiger.
This is amazing. I also see a tiny piano. Can I get the tiny piano? Tiny piano!
There you go.
Wherever you look in the studio, there is like an instrument there.
It's so messy.
It's fabulous. It's like a wonderland of musicality.
You're way too nice. But thank you. One thing I can show you is, I got a bunch of tour shirts from a bunch of tours I've done.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
And you've been on tour with your bands?
Bands. Last year I went on 3 European tours with 3 different bands. Had a blast. No sleep. Crappy food. It was awesome. So I went with Shy Martin and Hazlitt on the same tour. Hazlitt is over there. I play on his single Monsters. Check it out, he just released a new EP. Beep, 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 beep. And then I went on tour with No Sleep for Lucy, like arena rock kind of band. And I went with Violet Ace. Two friends of mine. We've been playing for like 10 years or something. So it was fun. Yeah.
So I've had this lifelong dream of playing in a band. I've never played in a band. And Fredric, as a true friend that he is indulging me. So I will get to play.
Obviously.
And I'll play the drums.
Of course. That's the only instrument.
Yes.
That matters.
So we will play my theme.
I think it's called Un's theme, actually.
Un's
That's
theme.
the actual name of the song.
Oh, this is so good. Okay.
You ready with the kick drum?
I know which one a kick drum is now, which is,
Okay.
Let's do this. Oh, kick drum. And this
You got
is
the,
snare drum.
That's a snare drum. I mean, if you want to go there with the cymbals maybe, like a douche, like this.
Can I count us in?
Yes, you will.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
You know how many counts?
No.
4. There's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 1. Bam! You
Okay,
start. Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's-
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Nice. And then
Yes! Thank you so much for watching, and please keep watching so that Fredric can make money off of putting music in my YouTubes.
Yep. That's the reason.
That's the only reason to watch this channel. Thank you so much for today. I'm Swanström, and see you next time. Bye! What? Okay.
Alltså.
Thank you. I am very impressive with music.
You're impressive.
Stuff.
Yes, you are.